Hello and welcome back to War Thunder and to the first impressions video of the new patch 1.63 Desert Hunters. Overall, I think it is a good patch. In a nutshell, all the implementations that we see in this patch are gap fillers. Not just game mechanic wise, more on this in a moment, but also the content for certain nations. In the background you can admire a gameplay of today actually in the mouse, where I used it to finish off certain upgrades. Also more on that in a moment. But why I show you this replay, or rather this recording, is because when I released my tank review yesterday, a lot of you didn't agree that the mouse is an awesome tank. In my opinion, it is also the very best top-end tank. Maybe the T10M is a potent rival, but I haven't driven the T10M out yet because I was utterly disgusted with its overpowered performance when it came first out, that I just simply refused to play it. Now, in times of there being more variants of the Leopard, ATGMs, more versions of the M60, also the British tanks being introduced, I think it is more balanced, and then I will give you a more justified opinion on it once I have driven it excessively. So, talking about driving something excessively, I love the mouse and I love the 128mm gun. Now, I will do a very epic tank review in the future on a tank that is quite similar to it, that most of you will not have access to. But back to the patch, I will discuss the most obvious or important changes with this patch, including discussions about certain vehicles, old and new ones. First of all, the 88cm or the 8.8cm half track. Well, it's kind of as I expected, but I didn't expect it being that vulnerable to enemy fire, and also that it is so difficult to get the gun on target. I think that's the biggest difficulty. But I will do at least one custom battle with a lot of other guys in the 88mm half track, and it will be epic. I hope so, at least. Then we come to one of the additions that really was surprising for me, that I didn't expect. I heard rumors about it like yesterday, one day before the patch dropped. I didn't expect it to be really implemented, but Gaijin has done it. What I'm talking about? Well, the chances of a shell ricocheting when it is 30% larger in diameter than the not line of sight, but actual thickness of the armor has drastically been reduced, is a very good change. And it actually, is a change that indirectly or directly nerfs all the T-34s, as now even the Panzer IV's 75mm shell just has to deal with its penetration, and it does have enough penetration to reliably go through T-34s now, and not just bounce. It was always the bounce that made problems. Talking about bounces, this poor, American premium tank bouncing all his shells. Yeah, I think this is a very necessary change. We will see how it works out in the future. But overall, it made the gameplay, for me at least, so much more enjoyable today at lower tiers. Then also the tracers look really nice in both planes and tanks, especially AAAs. I played some of them today, and I feel really sorry for this guy here in this M46. And yeah, American tanks, very good tanks, right? Yeah. Then also the J1N1, the Japanese tier 1, I guess, heavy fighter. Although it's not designated as a heavy fighter, it flies very well, is very well designed, or modeled rather, looks so good. And here I have to give a round of applause to the model designers of Gaijin. All the models of the new vehicles look so sexy, so good, so smooth, and wow, just wow. Then there is a strange fire bug going on lately. It happened a few days ago the first time in patch 1.61, but also I witnessed it today in patch 1.63. So basically, especially on the mouse, when you get hit by something that doesn't penetrate your armor, it randomly ignites fires somewhere in the tank. I was killed by a T-54 by a machine gun bullet that hit the upper front plate of the mouse, and I had no fire extinguisher left. I burned to death because of a machine gun round. That undoubtedly has to be fixed. Then there were some changes that were not made that I would love to have seen in the game. First of all, we're talking here about the famous Soviet IT-1, which is still so much cancer. I have no other words for this. It's so dumb. This vehicle is so dumb. I hate it. And not just because of the mouse. Actually, the mouse is the vehicle that has the most survivability against an IT-1 when it gets hit. And also the TU4 still ruins chat gameplay because it still kills the base. So Gaijin has passed the chance or wasted the chance of fixing the TU4 in some way, shape or form, reducing its bomb loads or nerfing the specific TU4 23mm. But hey, who am I? I'm just here to play the game, and I think that this should be changed, right? Then 50 cals are still the same as in patch 1.61. There are still, I don't understand, you know, putting like 200 rounds into a Meteor's engine, it doesn't burn, it just smokes and he turns around like nothing happened. So, still not in trouble. Then we come to a change that I guess Gaijin had a lot of humor regarding this. 30mm shells, especially on the Kika, which I played today for a few games. I do not understand why Gaijin actually made the sparks look prettier, but you know, it hasn't fixed the spark issue. Actually, I think the 30mm were nerfed on the Japanese, at least from the few Kika games. When you hit a Bearcat, you know, with a few significant hits and it doesn't go down. The same with B-17. You know, it's just not fun. And then we have the retarded rocket damage from planes against tanks, especially P-47s. You know, I understand that rockets should kill tanks, especially from above, especially when those tanks are lightly armored, such as AAA, light tanks in particular, or even some medium tanks. But that a single rocket hit on the front plate of a mouse kills the mouse is just so... Well, there are a lot of words to describe this, and yeah, you can think of them yourself. It is so disgusting, you know, to hold the front line, to defend a cap, you know, to outplay the enemy, to just rock and roll, and then there comes this P-47 out of the sky and one rocket hits you and completely kills you, you know. That is just so much... I have no words for this. Yeah. And this is still not fixed. Especially in arcade, where there are those, you know, plane runs you can unlock. You know, you should actually implement that the rockets arm after a distance of 200 meters so that those suicide runs don't get paid off or don't pay off. And, you know, that should be it. And there you can see the funny bug. I have to research minus 1,371 research points for the brake system. Yeah. funny Gaijin. And you also saw the bonus on the unlocking the module, which was like 22,000 research points, which is a lot, at least for me. So I will show you in a moment some more unlocks, and there you can see the kill to death ratio in the mouse for all those that don't believe me that the mouse is the best top tier heavy tank. In comparison, the Leopard, which sucks, even upgraded, it sucks in arcade. It is such a bad arcade tank. Now this is the end of another battle where I actually finished all the upgrades, so yeah. One final thing that I want to mention is the maps. I am really disappointed to a certain degree that we saw no new air RP maps. So in future updates, I hope Gaijin remembers that there are actually planes in the game that want to see new maps. So this is the tier 3 upgrade for the mouse that gives me over 24,000 research points, and this one gives me 32,000. So that's a lot. That's over 50,000 research points with one battle. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this new patch so far in the first few days. Obviously, we will see some changes in the near future. And give this video a like if you did. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe if you want to see more. And see you next time on the battlefields and in the skies of War Thunder.